Imagine spending 2.5 million euros on this.
Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop!
Hammer time!
Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Sexual harassment!
Here you can see in this story, Tina Wilkes says, "My hometown has launched a 2.5 million euro project called Safe Oulu." Now this is in Finland, which is experiencing a crisis that aims at combating the sexual abuse crisis, and she puts parentheses migrant. This is where the money goes. Kill me now. At least be kind and lobotomize me so I won't have to live with this image in my head. So many countries have experienced some similar trends and some problems. One of those problems seems to be the rise of assault specifically on women, and this problem seems to be growing. Now Finland decided that it would combat this issue by raising 2.5 million euros so that they could make a TikTok video to tell men not to touch their no-no zones, as if this was going to keep women safe. It's absolute insanity. Here on Reclaim the Net, Finland's Oulu City Council roasted online for feeble no-square dance to combat sexual abuse. The video has been seen by millions. Well, they certainly succeeded in getting this video to go viral, but unfortunately it is all for all the wrong reasons. But before we begin, a quick word from this week's sponsor.
Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
And we're back. So, this article is by Cindy Harper, and this is a story that is honestly, it is shocking, it's disturbing, it's honestly top cringe and really bad. So a TikTok video designed to raise awareness of sexual abuse in Finland has gone viral and received a lot of attention, but not necessarily for the reasons that they may have anticipated. So I want you to imagine something. Imagine you live in a country like Finland or Sweden. Imagine you lived in a Western developed country that used to be peaceful, used to not have crime, used to be relatively safe. Now imagine that over the years, because of pushes for globalism and this swan song of globalism, this increase in immigration, this increase in demographic changes, etc., we were all told that it would create a utopia, that the world would be safer, that the world would be better. However, all the data seems to be showing that a lot of these places like Finland or Sweden are actually unsafer, more divided, and more conflicted. So what went wrong? A video from the account at Sanan Nopsa, representing the Finnish city of Oulu, was created to raise awareness of sexual abuse towards children, women, as well as empowering people to be aware of sexual assault. The video, in which 5 representatives do a brief dance to the lyrics, "Stop, don't touch me there, this is my no-no square." The things I do for showbiz. Seriously, just end me now. Has been ridiculed online for being a weak attempt to deal with a serious issue, and this is actually disturbing. 2.5 million euros, which is, what was that, like 3 million American dollars? Maybe a little bit less? Imagine your taxes, millions of your taxpayer dollars, going to a TikTok video. First of all, how is this going to be effective? Now, regardless of where the statistics are coming from, some people believe it's tied to the increase in demographic changes, increased migration. Some people think that it's because of broken families. Different people have different theories. But regardless, it is happening. And I think what we can say is that not only is it insulting to all real victims of assault and violence, not only is it despicable, not only is it cringeworthy, it is absolutely disgusting and not funny at all. Like, the video itself is funny to laugh at. It's funny to laugh at because it's absurd. But what isn't funny is that they actually spent millions of dollars to make a stupid TikTok video.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square!
Let's just tell criminals not to commit crimes. We did it, boys. Crime is no more. Wick frames the sharing of the video in relation to a steep sudden rise in sexual abuse in the country that Finnish police statistics suggest is tied to the recent increase in migrants. Now, this is a Finnish police report. There's similar reports out of Sweden about Sweden. In a lot of these countries, they're controlled by specifically leftist ideology, globalist ideology, that seem to be pushing a lot of these issues under the rug, unable to really address the real problem. Now, I don't know what the real problem is. All I know is that it's happening. That's all I can tell you for sure. And if globalism was supposed to make society better, I think that maybe there's a very strong possibility that they were wrong. Maybe the destabilization of these Western countries that were previously safe, previously unified, and where women weren't suffering so much. Don't we have an obligation to protect our children? Don't we have an obligation to protect our women? Should we protect the people in our country, not just women, not just children, but men too? Twitter parody account Titania McGrath shared the video saying, "If this simple technique had been available during World War II, the Soviet army wouldn't have been able to commit their acts of mass abuse," essentially. Learn this now. And, of course, there's people making fun of it. They're mocking the video. Now, it's a very serious issue. I want to make that clear. Now, I don't know what the solution is, but I'm going to tell you this. The solution is not to make a cringy TikTok video about your no-no zones. You know how insulting and sad this is for people who are actually victims? So a lot of people have had heavy criticism against this video, against this program, and against this waste of money. This is one of the greatest examples of why taxation is theft, and some background for this. The woman in glasses is the front. In the front is a former Social Democrat candidate. Before the grooming scandal broke the news, she denied such a problem even existed and claimed migrant gangs are just a lie made up by bigots. Now, this is a common pattern and common trend in these Western countries. They deny that there's a problem, that serious crimes are being committed. There's grooming scandals, there's assault scandals. A lot of victims are women, a lot of victims are children. And while different people have different theories about why, one of the big ones is that with the rise of migration from countries that may not be used to Western society, there may be some compatibility problems. At any rate, it is true, factually and scientifically, the data's all there, that all these things have increased. Here, Tina Wick says, and if the abuse Macarena isn't enough to stop them, there's always the oldie but goodie advice from our public news network. Just stretch your arm out in front of you with your palm facing the attacker, and the abuser will go away. So this is a video that was also released by their government called Yle Oulu about what to do if you are assaulted in the street. Let's look at their little promo video here. That's right, folks. All you gotta do to make the bad man go away is put out your hand. Use the power of the force to compel them away from you. They'll definitely not assault you because, well, that flat hand is just so threatening. It reminds them of their mother. And oh boy, did those slaps hurt. And if one hand isn't enough, use two. We did it, boys. Assault is no more. It's really hard to believe that this is real, but here we are. It is real, and no pun intended. Here, Rams Paul says, "Stop. Don't touch my bum. This is my no-no gun." This would be a far more effective educational tool. Well, I guess if you live in America and where you have the right to bear arms, maybe that is good advice. Unfortunately, Finland may not have such rights. I think it goes without saying, this is just another sign of the decay of Western civilization and the danger and incompetence of governments who have stopped protecting their own citizens. My friends, abandon leftism, reject globalism, and embrace nationalism. Embrace those who will actually protect your children and your citizens. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? I think it's an absolute travesty that this is actually considered acceptable. Are we really living in a world where this is the government's response to the rise of assault? Does no one really want to address the issue? You know what? You let me know what you think. You let me know what the solutions are. I'll be listening. Now, as always, if you want to support the work I do, join me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. You can also donate through Bitcoin or DonorBox. My donation page is down below. It's very easy to use. PayPal works as well. And sharing the video is always vastly appreciated. Content like mine isn't being promoted online, so if you like the video, if you think it's worth sharing, go ahead and give it a share. That's the best way to help the channel grow. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.